Do you want to be the go-to dentist in Columbus? Well, stick with me. I'm going to give you 7 amazing tips and tricks that you can begin implementing today to become the most popular, the most go-to dentist in Columbus. As a local digital marketing expert, I have audited hundreds of websites, local social media accounts, local businesses in general. And I have discovered several key factors that separate the good from the bad. And in fact, I've probably only encountered maybe 2 or 3% that have actually been good. Um, so I can practically guarantee that if you take these tips and tricks and implement them into your business, you will succeed in 2022 and beyond. So just keep watching and put these 7 tips to work for you beginning immediately. Now, I am going to give you 7 tips and tricks, but don't take one as being more important than number 7. In fact, I've kind of set it up to where number 1 and 7 are actually the most important. Um, but even without that being said, you need to take at least 5 of these, if not all 7, and put them into practice in your business. Now, the first one that I'm going to cover is mastering YouTube. You need to have a very solid YouTube presence. Why? Well, because YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. It should be good enough for you. But even beyond that, if you learn how to master YouTube, you learn how to handle your frequency, you learn what to say in your videos, you learn how to not make every video a promotional chest pumping I am the best video series. Those are all fantastic steps to get you going in the right direction with the power of YouTube. But we're going to cover a few of the micro steps that you need to succeed with YouTube here. But to master YouTube, it actually goes a lot farther in depth than just what I'm going to cover here, but you can discover those. But first and foremost, just like I am doing here for you, you need to give away your very best information. You need to let people know how they will never need you. If you take the steps that I am listing out here in this video, and you want to put in the time, you want to put in the effort, you want to learn the behind the scenes aspects of everything that I'm teaching you here, fantastic. For the absolute cost of 0 for hiring me, you can have everything. Why am I doing it like this? Because the very best way to gain the know, the like, and the trust factor of people watching the video is to give great information. Because first, they learn to truly trust you. They begin to trust your expertise in what you're saying and what you're offering. You can't beat that. On video, as opposed to any printed medium, they get to know you a little bit. They get to know your mannerisms. They get to know how you act, how you talk, everything. That's great. So they get to know you, and you're building up trust as you go. And hopefully, as you're going through on video, please, no, just kidding. Hopefully, they learn to like you. Because know, like, and trust is what people do business with. People do business with people. Excluding some of your monsters like Amazon or Walmart, but whatever. But when it comes to a local basis, people do business with people, period. So, you connect with people, they're going to connect back with you. But just to quickly cover a few of the tips for using video in general, but especially YouTube. First, make the format a format for that video platform. Be it a 16 by 9 for Instagram stories, TikTok. LinkedIn is more flexible. Obviously, you want this format for YouTube. But then after you have your formatting done, you want to make sure that you get captions on your videos, because at least 85% of the people watch the videos either in an office setting or in public or just on mute in general, so they're not going to hear most of what you say. They're going to actually read it. Yes, we are returning to the 1920s and silent movies. Hey, it is what it is. But captions are critically important. And having the file that you upload from your phone or your computer matching the title that you plan to use for your video, that's amazingly important. Having a description that repeats the title, having a description that is almost verbatim to the video itself, that's critically important. And if you do all of these steps great, you do all these steps masterfully, well, Google, in all likelihood, will give you a very high ranking in their search engines. Why? Google owns YouTube. Google loves YouTube. And if you do your videos correctly, you do your tagging correctly, you do your title and description correctly, it is not uncommon. In fact, I have dozens of them right now. It is not uncommon to get a first or second ranking on page number 1 of Google for a local search. Now, would having a page number 1 help your business out? I think probably would. But to learn more about just video marketing in general, I'm in the process of creating a course for that. But video marketing is definitely one of the most powerful tools in play right now. And before we go real far, I want to put one more step into video, and that is, drum roll please, pattern interrupts. If you're doing a video that is 90 seconds to 2 minutes in length, don't worry about it. But if you're doing a long form video, you need to hold people's attention. As you've noticed, I've switched shirts a few times already, and I'll do it more throughout the videos, and I've also changed backdrops. Okay, now that we've quickly discussed pattern interrupts, let's go on to step 2. Even though they're not nearly as powerful or business friendly as they used to be, on a local basis, you still need to be using YouTube and not YouTube, I'm sorry. You still need to be using Facebook and Instagram. I know they've been around for a long time now, and organically, a lot of their traffic is really fallen off and it's really gone down. But you still need to be there. Not only have your page, but you need to be posting there 5 to 7 times at a minimum every 2 weeks on both platforms. And don't use the same content on Instagram that you do on Facebook. Keep it different. Don't just mirror one to the other, because odds are there are people that are following both pages. Now, you can recycle the content, but do not simultaneously post both at the same time to both channels. And with that being said, to touch back on a previous point of their traffic going down on an organic basis, well, On tip number 7, I'm going to blow you away with that one. Because tip number 7 will totally take care of making tip number 2 work tremendously well for you. And for the next tip, and yes, this is a pretty drastic pattern interrupt, but the next tip, create and use an email list. Email, I hear you say. Yes, an email list. Email is still the very best way to communicate with your current, and if you already got an email list established, some of your past customers. Now, with an email list, much like social media, and I did not say this, you want at least 80 to 85% of the content that you put out to be about your community or about how they don't need to see you by giving them tips and tricks. And then, after you've got your 80-85% of meaningful information out and you've got them trained to open your emails, then you can start sending out promotional emails. But email is very underutilized and very important. And here we go to tip number 4. Now, tip number 4 is a big one and not always the easiest to pull off, but once you get it, it's worth every single moment that you spent on it. Find micro influencers. Now, sure, we've all heard of the Kardashians, we've all heard of the big influencers, but that is not the kind of person that you want. No, you want to get the micro influencer. You want to get the soccer mom. You want to get the baseball coach. You want to get the basketball coach. You want to get the teacher in town that everybody listens to. You want to get whoever the most popular person is with people that you serve to literally vouch for you. You want to get with them and have them make a video that not only they put out or allow you to put out, but even more importantly, that they put out to their followers, be it on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, wherever. But once you get the backing of a micro influencer in your area, yeah, just hold on, because your results can quickly be very amazing. So find the micro influencer in your area. And the really cool thing is, this works whether you're a dentist, a doctor, a mechanic, a restaurant, a grocery store, a flower shop. It honestly does not matter, but that micro influencer has influence over the soccer moms, has influence over everybody that is affiliated with the school, has influence over all the guys in the community. This is a very, very big trick and tip that you need to put in your back pocket and start implementing immediately. And as we keep going, let me tell you, this next one is one of the biggest mistakes I'm seeing in 2022. And actually, this has been going on for a long time, but people just won't stop. Stop wasting your money. Stop. Stop wasting your money on billboards, on direct mail, on radio or TV ads. They don't work. Period. They do not work. At least not with the power that they tell you that they work with. And most definitely not nearly as powerful as social media and YouTube. I can practically guarantee that if you eliminate billboards, direct mail, radio and TV ads, and you took just half of that budget and put it towards digital media, that you would get at least twice the results, probably more. Because there are very specific ways that you want to do this, and there are very specific ways to be in front of your existing customers, keep you top of mind with your existing customers, and also attract new customers. And just by having a billboard out front on the street that says, free tooth whitening, come see, blah, 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 that doesn't do the trick. Because you can get a lot more engagement, a lot more traffic, a lot more targeted people seeing you and seeing what you do through the power of digital. So take what you think you know and scrap it. And we just keep rolling through these tips and tricks, but this is a very powerful one. Get client testimonials. Ideally, a testimonial in video form. Now, if they're not comfortable on video, have them do a written testimonial and just hire a local actor. Now, be sure that you put a disclaimer that this is an actor reading an actual testimonial, but very important. But with the testimonial, there are definitely specific things that you want to do to make it a meaningful testimonial. You want the person giving the testimonial to be specific. You want the person giving the testimonial to tell how you fixed a specific problem for them, not just something really vague. You don't want them to be just like, hey, go see Jim down the corner because he's the best one in town. No. You want to discover exactly what Jim did to help that customer, because that's going to help create relatability for people that are watching this testimonial. And when it comes to testimonials, just like step 1 with YouTube, you can put testimonials on your YouTube page and you can get them to rank really high. Imagine what a page 1 on Google testimonial can do for your business. But you'll also want to take the very best testimonials and put them also on your website. So you need to have a way to collect testimonials and get them onto your website and onto YouTube and onto your social media accounts to help gain the know, like, and trust factor even further than just by yourself. Now this last one is critically important, okay? As we discussed earlier about Instagram and Facebook not being as powerful as they once were. Now, you can combat that with a micro budget. Now, depending on the size of your town, anywhere from $3 to $10 a day can really make Instagram and Facebook a game changer for your business. That little micro budget can pay huge dividends, especially when you factor in the lifetime value of a customer. Now, the really cool thing with allocating the small budget is that you can run multiple different campaigns. You can run your testimonial campaign. You can run a how-to campaign. You can engage with people that have engaged with your website and try to bring them back. But the most important thing with this concept is that you are not trying to compete with Amazon. You're not trying to compete with Walmart. You're not trying to compete with Ford or Chevy. No, you are not trying to reach the world. You are trying to reach your neighborhood, your zip code, your town, your city. That is all that you are trying to do with this. And trust me, depending on the size, $3 to $10 a day, you can practically reach everybody. Not just the few people that drive by and see the magical billboard. No. Having this micro budget will dominate anything else that you are trying to do in your business. Because you can use this in conjunction with so many other things. Like I said, tip 7 is really just as good as tip number 1. I truly hope that you found these 7 tips and tricks to be powerful, to be helpful, and I honestly hope that you begin to implement them today in your business. Now, with that being said, there is a lot of work involved. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes aspects to learning how this works today, and with it being different aspects of social media, it will probably change again tomorrow. That's just the way social media works. It's always a changing little animal, and you have to keep up with it, or it will run away. And yeah, what you did yesterday does not work tomorrow. But if you want to almost guarantee your success, and you want to put Relentlessly Social in your corner, give me, J.L. Davis, a call at 812-229-7843, and actually either call or text, 812-229-7843, or shoot me an email at relentlesslysocial@gmail.com, or just to get some more information about Relentlessly Social and what's going on, check out my website at RelentlesslySocial.com. I didn't see that coming, did you? But anyway, I'll be glad to be in your corner, be glad to make you the go-to person in your area, and really grow your business in 2022 and beyond. Now, one last word of warning. With Relentlessly Social, I only work with one business per niche per town. So I will only take on one dentist in Greenwood. I will only take on one mechanic in Terre Haute. I will only take on one chiropractor in Carmel. Because I'm not going to help 2 people doing the same thing in the same city and create that internal competition. No, that's not what it's about. So if you want to guarantee, almost guarantee, if you want to practically guarantee that you will be the go-to resource in your town, reach out today, because there's nothing that I like better than helping small businesses grow.